Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It's Big versus OpTic Gaming, map number 2 here, the second best of 3 of the day at the Major tournament, the FACEIT Major in London. I am just so excited for this. I think we're going to hopefully see a better version of OpTic. They did kind of get crushed on that first Dust 2 map. 16-6 in favor of Big. So
a 14-1 half. So even the 6 seems generous. You never feel like it was going to get close at any one point. A very good showing for Big from start to finish. Now moving on to Train, though, and a chance for OpTic to respond. They've kind of, I mean, both of these teams really have kind of struggled and labored their way through this group stage, through this challenger stage.
Yes.
And now, Big at least showing up when it matters the most. And now we have Train. So OpTic's pick of the map. I mean, they mentioned on the desk, like, right? You know, OpTic was going to have to play a map that they just aren't going to be that great on, and that was Dust 2. Now they get to go to their most comfortable map. But you have to imagine, Train, you know, you can do a lot of nerdy things, and we talked in the last map about how Gabi is phenomenal at nerdy things.
He's a little nerd, isn't he? It's a good thing when you're playing Counter-Strike. You need some of those around. So, yeah, I think Train is still a map that's ripe for exploration. I think there are a lot of things that can be done still.
I know you like to do all your videos, but before we get into that discussion, before we go into the deep dive, we've got the Upcomer app. You can see it there on the screen. You can visit the website, check it out, and follow along with the FACEIT Major all the way through. And obviously give us your thoughts on who's going to win this one. I imagine it's going to be a lot towards Big.
71% Moses.
It's not bad.
That is not bad. Yeah, I mean, they kind of deserve it after winning that first map. So
that first map is going to change some minds, isn't it?
Yeah. Well done, OpTic. They didn't really get it all together. They didn't show us enough. We need more on this map.
You need something out of them. And I'll be honest, when I was watching that a little bit on Dust 2, when they had those double op setups, it seemed both oppers were missing some shots that I feel like normally they would hit. Obviously, Tabson was phenomenal himself individually, but the oppers here for OpTic, if you're going to go to this map and you're going to run a double op setup like we saw with Cajun and Yugi, they need to be on point. You're going to have some chances, and this is another one of those maps where things can get confusing and hectic.
Yeah, absolutely.
Look at Conflict.
And
just as he switch away. He is intense. They're going to need him. They're going to need Conflict. They're going to need all the stars to show up. If you're OpTic Gaming, everyone needs to pick up the pace. This lineup on paper should be able to do some damage between Yugi, Config, and Cajun. Especially Yugi and Config are like these two highly skilled players, very promising from Denmark.
Here's a potential frightening scenario, because OpTic are starting on the T side, as you can tell. If they lose the pistol, they could be in for another rough time, losing a bunch of rounds. It's not easy on the T side of Train at all. So we'll see how that goes. Pistol rounds were certainly working out well for Big.
Imagine starting both maps in your elimination series at the Major, just with a massive deficit of just having to fight just for a chance to come back.
Yeah, it's definitely been hard on OpTic today.
I guess it's one of the benefits of Big being able to pick Dust 2 as their map. Is, you know, it doesn't always lean to one side or the other. We also haven't really seen a lot to make that judgment. It is a little bit more T-sided, it feels, but you can rack up rounds on both sides if you catch some momentum.
Yeah, but this also highlights one of the big differences between playing best of ones and best of threes, right? Because in best of ones you can avoid most of those maps that you don't really like. In best of threes, might have to have a couple of them in there. Now they're going to try and see if they can execute. There is already a rotation heading this way. Flashbang set up to try and help out Tabson, but he's going to go down. Gade was actually maybe the only player who did something reasonable on Dust 2, getting the one kill. Tizian sniping away against Config. That's going to be good, even if the bomb is down. And oh god, Big gets one kill. They barely get him before he's out of the picture. And Gade's still fighting. He almost adjusted to pick up that kill, but now Snappy's alone up here at the high ground. 1 versus 2. They have a smoke as well, so he probably sees where the bomb is planted, but can he actually make this happen? Almost running out of bullets, and he is out of bullets. 1 second left. He can't actually get it done. The defuse is happening inside, and Tizian takes him down. If there was a heartbreaking way to start, certainly be losing the pistol. A heartbreaking way to lose the pistol might just be running out of bullets while someone's defusing in front of you.
He had a couple chances. It's hard to tell where exactly that lineup was, though. He was just a little bit off. I'll tell you what. Tizian might not have had the most frags on Dust 2, not by a long shot, but he had phenomenal impact. And here to start out Train as well, a triple kill on the pistol. He's doing a great job for Big in this series so far. 3 SMGs, Big looking to make some money. That plant, as we all know, usually indicates a third round buy. They want to make some bonus. Got to be careful from T-mid, but he's trusting Tabson to protect, and Tabson's doing a great job with it, and there's no progress being made. Unarmored opponents. Jump in seems kind of crazy. He'll be fine losing that. 2 kills with the SMG. He'll want to upgrade to an M4 anyways in the next round. They're going to need a few more rifles to compete against these AK-47s.
Yeah, very aggressive, big, not allowing OpTic to feel safe.
I think Gabi should drop an M4 over to Tapson so he can have armor and utility, but Tapson's just going to go ahead and buy it, clean out himself. It's not a bad buy.
No, they make it work in this round. So OpTic have a chance for revenge really early on against the CT side. These AK-47s certainly should be able to do some damage. And they picked them up after all, so let's see what they have prepared for us here. Tabson gonna be in Pop Dog. You can get a bit uncomfortable if they have a lot of smokes or Molotovs, but
this is a great risk to take. All you would lose is an SMG. So you now have so much information, and there's no noise outside whatsoever. Double peek, that's a great timing. Dizzy and the shoulder peek. He's able to get around very, very fast. There should be a pretty big rotation from Big.
Done it again. Bomb is kind of hesitating a bit. That Molotov, I don't know if they would have tried. It didn't look like they were going to try to rush him down. But look at Smooya. Taking even more risks with the SMGs, but this is just so much information now to work with. Long range here, Tizzy and the M4. That AK-47, oh, he gets the straight headshot taking down Gay. That's well done. And now when they try and get down to the low ground, they got to be quick because that flank is coming in from Smooya. Quick trade, still not bad for Nex at all. That MP9 winning the first fight now. Another 7 or 8 seconds, and Smooya should be in position. He's going to run right into Config. Great turnaround for him. Great shot from Yugi. Now a 2-on-2 down on the low ground. No bomb plant yet. Long range spray as Yugi takes down Tizian. And now Tabson, hero of Dust 2, coming in for a 1 versus 2. He's got 25 seconds. He knows they have to put down the bomb, so it isn't really on him, although he might still get a bit nervous walking out. Did he see it up on the high ground? He certainly did. Config, oh, he misses the chance. Still going to get the headshot, and now Yugi fighting him and hitting the headshot. Great triple and a big save. It was very expensive, but they made it work.
A very, very tough round for OpTic to win. I thought that flank from Smooya was going to be so good after those initial 2 kills. I thought it might have drawn Config away, but aggression on the bomb site not as coordinated as you would have liked from Big, and Yugi's able to find some 1v1s and a great clutch as well, faking out the bomb plant. Tabson trying to get close up. They're going to buy, though. They got double up set up right out of a loss. That could catch OpTic off guard. They've got a MAC-10 2 UMPs. Next, what a champion. Oh, he has an M4, okay. I always thought he was just going USP, no armor, just to be able to drop that AWP, but still, without armor, he's going to pass that over to Gabi. Very strong buy that I'm not sure OpTic is going to be ready for. Back to the inner bomb site we go, and it seems like we have somewhat of a gamble here early on from Big.
Putting quite a few people on the bomb site.
Both ops are outside, though. That's going to be a tough retake if they hit this inner site. It's going to be tough for them to take it, but if they do succeed in taking the bomb site, they're going to be able to reap the benefits.
Oh, Molotov there for the back of the train. Trying to deny Tizi in some of the positions that he might want to be in. And all of those smokes, very hard to line up a kill. You can see OpTic getting a lot of control of the bomb site without even seeing anybody. And Yugi gets the kill before Gay goes down, so this is all good news. Got B sneaking on close, he needs a big double, and he's only going to get the 1. So save the AWPs and make a run for it. Great hit for OpTic. And this is a very, very important beginning for the Danish side right now. It's a bit of a building a slow redemption arc, Moses.
Yeah, just to be able to feel a little bit better of yourself after that first map, and I'm actually astounded that Big didn't get more done with that. A few missed shots, yes. OpTic wrapping around kind of through Tizzy and off. But still, 3 players that inner bomb site. Feels like you should be able to get more than just the 1. At least the ops are going to be saved. You can still force buy behind this if you're Big as well. You can go for upgraded pistol and armor with utility. Money's not great for OpTic, so they're not quite ready to chase these down. Smooya very aware. Config goes down right at the end. 2-2, all tied up. I actually wouldn't even mind to see if Big just purchased behind this 2 AWPs.
Well,
I don't think they will.
It's one of those things, right, where you'll lure your team slowly into a worse situation if you keep doing it. But they do buy Moses. They just waited a little bit. Yeah. They wanted to have you say it first, and then
so they can blame me afterwards.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, we were listening to Moses. Deagle on Tizian, CZ on Gabi and Nex. And the ops have to ring true. A lot of emphasis towards this inner bomb site early on for OpTic. Great kill for, oh my god, the follow-up. He's going to get an AK out of it. That might be the round. Now the ops ring out. What a hold from Gabi, and what do you do if you're Yugi? You're dodging op shots left and right.
That was the bomb as well, by the way,
Yeah.
in Top Dog, so it was already bad. And it somehow got worse.
Oh lord, the dagger from Gabi, double kill.
If if you're OpTic, the rest of OpTic Gaming, you just don't even know what to say at that point, right? Like, oh, cool. We've given up the round. Yugi trying to fight his way back.
This is actually a really good play. The flank coming out of of Ivy. Snappy could do so much damage. He spots one. Don't want to take that. He's giving away his position. Smooya is able to adjust the op. 50 seconds left for them to juggle the attention of this big defense. But they're slowly have a chance to fight themselves back into it. Still, the bomb is the tough part. Going into ladder room with 2 players here. They do have a Molotov on Yugi.
Oh, if they put it right there. No, not going to be there in time. Tizian takes the peek, and that smoke's going to fade, and that will give Snappy a very, very hard position to hold. Smooya will take him down. There was a chance at the end of that 2v3, definitely. But that's a knockout hit for Gabi. He's at 75. They try and jump him, and, well, you see the result right here. That's crushing.
That is a very powerful round from Gabi. Even the mid player trying to punish him, retreating from ladder room in the op, picks him off. So saving those double ops, massively important. 3-2. We're just talking about OpTic, how good of a start that was for them to build some belief, build some faith and some confidence, and, well, they get smacked right in the face.
Yeah, and how long can they keep that up for? I mean, this team already doesn't mentally look all that strong, right? So a couple of rounds like that where it's sort of needless losses.
Yeah, that's where it would have been nice for them to get up, 5 rounds or something right at the start of this T-half, just to feel a little bit comfortable, and maybe just then you look at the scoreboard and you're like, we only need to add 1 or 2 more max, and then we're fine.
Yeah.
This will be tough. 4 AK-47s, though. It's the nades they're missing, especially against a double op setup. You've got 3 smokes, 4 flashbangs, and a Molotov. Those better be placed perfectly. Oh, I thought he was going to keep going. He'll have a fast flank if they never approach him. Now, they do line up just a little bit. Still would be a hard transfer.
Yeah, and very hard once you get that AWP shot ringing out to guess that maybe the AK is going to be close. He has fallen back in the meantime, Tizian, so just going to leave Tabson up there for a minute. But as you said, few grenades, so I mean, even if you see Tabson here, you can't really invest too much into hunting him down, and he can just smoke and run away probably, so he's got so much control.
Tough part is because they're so low in utility, OpTic can't even go for any kind of, control of those box hulls. Maybe not even going for the kill, just trying to make a presence known to force back any kind of aggression or make sure they can't cheat a player elsewhere. They just have to go for this straight-up hit.
Smoke landing towards the C connector. It's not bad at all, but it doesn't block off the guy who's boosted on top of the hut there. Smooya has a reasonable idea of what's coming now. Nice flick to take down Snappy. Gonna open it up, and big win this round. OpTic going to be economically reset once again. Turning around the flashbang. He almost shot right between them. That was close. Next followed up with a great double spray to take down Cajun and Config both. Now the bomb is going to go down, and yeah, this can actually work out. If they win this round, OpTic, though, they could start to bring it back. Tabs crouching in. Almost walked into that shot, and back around the corner is Yugi now on a 1 versus 2. He's going to pick up the 1 kill, and now he has to hide. Try and keep out of line of sight of Tabson, who's been playing so well. He goes for the fight, and he's going to win it. Yugi having a good game. Quad kill in this one. A triple earlier, and now it's 3-3, and that is actually just really well done.
That's phenomenal from Yugi. 4 kills, and just OpTic in general doing so much with so little. Not a whole lot of utility. You can see Smooya, he had a great line of sight throughout that entire outer yard. A beautiful flick for the first kill, but traded immediately, not able to build upon it. OpTic respond again, and this time there's no weapon save. There's no double ops for Big to be able to kind of buy around. They invest a little bit in upgraded pistols, but this should be another round for OpTic. This time you can kind of take box halls control. You can start to investigate before executing onto a bomb site. You can find out a little bit of what defensive setup you're working against.
They had luck at B early on, so maybe eventually they want to go back and test that. There is a big stack this time, so maybe I want to avoid that.
Classic gamble.
Oh.
Oh my lord.
Well, that's a gamble. The instant jackpot. Tizian taking the kill. Gade going for a bit of a repeat here. Got to be very, very careful. If he dies as well, that would certainly up the ante a little bit here.
They're not rotating away. I'm going to call the bluff of OpTic, thinking that maybe OpTic is gathered up, ready to re-hit. Like you said, there was a big emphasis from OpTic on the B bomb site earlier, so maybe getting lured into this one by that early attention, but they're going to find out soon enough that it's actually coming outside. It's only Tabson here, and he's the only player without an upgraded pistol. Only 1,600 for him. Tough place to be in. Now they're starting to rotate out. I think they're going to get there just in time. Smooya flanking as well.
Yep, next on the bomb site to see the grenades first. 30 seconds, which is very nervous making, because if the bomb goes down at this point, you are just simply not going to have enough time to pick it up and go for the bomb plant. Agent a little bit. There's the bomb, and this is trouble now. 20 seconds, and they keep fighting. Gade and Config getting a couple of good kills. Only 17 seconds. Again, this is so close to the time running out. Finally, they're going to get it, and I think they've got the option for it here. Tabson instant execute, and Yugi. Oh no, he has to come. He does get the bomb plant down, but Config is miles away right now. They're going to go straight for the 10-second defuse, and yeah, they know where he is. Flashbangs and everything else. There's no chance whatsoever. What a steal from Big.
I said his name at the very start after the pistol round. Tizian again delivering. The Deagle kills are astounding. 2 1-Deags at long range. Well, the first one close range. This is beautiful.
Yeah.
Fine Snappy looking to the left, and this one helps out so much. And you're right, that flank eventually does come to fruition. Tabson pushing Ivy, realizing with just the USP he can't do anything, has to take the risk and push all the way around, gets both kills. OpTic just running the time down too low. No chance for flexibility in taking that bomb site, and they just can't catch a break.
They really can't. This is, again, playing the game on hard mode. Now they're running into main, but there could have been a lot of grenades. There might still be a lot of grenades following up into the corner. Oh my god. The whole team nearly getting caught in there. That's a lot of damage.
If there was a push with those Molotovs, they might have just all been slaughtered. Oh, the follow-up. Another nade kill. Tabson finds it. Look at the HP. Gade and Config haven't seen anything. And they're already out of this round. That has got to be the most frustrating part. This is when the T-side gets so difficult as a player, when you are just feeling incredibly outplayed.
And they've had the chances, OpTic, to avoid this scenario, right? If they don't give away that last round, it's a lot later before Big can start to pick up all these grenades. But it's just not working out for them. Config on 5, Gade on 32, and Yugi and Snabby, they are going to have to be the ones in charge of bringing it back if at all possible. Smooya got the right idea and a great lineup that even tags Gade through Config, who went down. Snappy, why not try and make a hero play at this point? Something's got to work out, so otherwise the round is just going to slowly peter out anyway. Gade has picked up 1 kill. Snappy trying to get back as Yugi does go down. Now it's all on Snappy. Lone over at the bomb site, going to get hunted down by Nex. And Smooya picked up a kill in the meantime, a triple in fact. 5-3. We're not at the stage, I mean, this isn't like Dust 2 where Big are running away with it, but I feel like some of these losses for the Danish side are so crushing.
Between the nade damage early on and the nade kill, and then they line up for Smooya out towards Ivy, this is just... I don't know. Depressing for OpTic, if you're an OpTic fan. You're right. I mean, they're not out of it just yet. It's just, I mean, they're just having a really tough time every single place they go.
It's the fact that they've had the opportunities to be further ahead, right? This could have probably been 5-3 in their favor instead. They could have had all of that going for them, but give away a couple of easy rounds and suddenly it gives a lot of confidence to Big. Jumping down to the low ground, but they're getting shut down here. These SMGs doing just fine. Gade but not getting the last kill. 6-3 now. Big making it, yeah, a little bit closer now. They're starting to get the money built up on that CT side. I mean, just a couple of rounds ago, they were the ones forcing into the rounds. Now, almost 12,000 at the beginning of the round for TG and all AKs on the OpTic side.
Here we go. Most utility they've had in quite some time. OpTic need to deliver something or else Big is going to start just building up too much of an economy to overcome. It's one of the basic tenets of this map is you have to keep that defensive money as low as possible. You do not want to keep seeing these ops, and you definitely do not want to keep seeing a double op. At the moment, they can afford to rebuy it, maybe even twice. This is a clean win. It might just start stretching too far away, and it's Big taking all the opportunities to find information. Got Big pushing up. There's only Cajun B here.
Surprisingly, nobody wanted to be in main. So we're gonna smoke up. Did see that run boost. So oh, next. A little bit of high damage. So we're waiting for the timing. And you can catch it just perfectly.
Yeah, Got B rotates over to help. Still no decision on where to go for OpTic, just under a minute. We saw them run out of time earlier. Gabi gonna rotate around him, and Smooya can double up over towards Ivy. That leaves Nex with a big job to do. Gotta watch ladder room, gotta be mindful of the mid choke point as well, but Smooya's now got his op trained on it.
Look at how much time is off the clock and nothing has been accomplished here for OpTic.
No, this is just gonna be a hit on the bomb site. This is just gonna be dump all the utility, wall of smokes, go from there. Gate's got the one flashbang to try and make the drop happen.
Yeah, just checking that no one's sneaking up, and you're right, he's gonna have to go for it here. Smooya executing conflict, instant headshot. Gate's gonna win the fight against Nex. That is big news now. Maybe they could get something done. There's only 10 seconds. It just doesn't seem like it's possible any longer. Yugi does get the kill, and he's got one chance for a bomb plant. Can anybody stop it? They really want to get close enough to do it, but the bomb is down, and it doesn't even matter. They still get picked up. Tizian and Tabson to close out the round. They're just looking for the remaining AWP, and that will be 7-3. Moses, finish the sentence for me. OpTic may be losing, but at least...
At least they have more than one round.
Great. You already sold it.
Smooya with some great shots as well. And this is the thing. I mean, look, you have these oppers, right? You have flashbangs. This is a round where OpTic have the most utility, and you're coming out of that choke point, and the oppers aren't blind at all. You need to have those flashbangs prepared for these different locations that pop. We see other teams executing on train on this T side, and you're able to at least give yourself a second to just get out of the choke point. Even with that battle won in ladder room, pretty clean, all things considered, still not able to make any progress. And also, as you mentioned, time running that low, OpTic have to start doing some things in the first minute of the round, because you can't just get the bomb planted with 10 seconds and then you just have no room to work with afterwards. You need some time.
Yeah, I mean, there's a nightmare scenario there where someone is hiding a C connector and they can shoot the feet of Yugi planting, and then they just lose the round like that. So
can apply more pressure. They seem a little bit afraid to kind of challenge towards Ivy. We haven't seen that yet. We've gone 10 rounds in, and it feels like we haven't seen too much of the OpTic playbook quite yet.
I mean, that B execute was working for a couple of rounds. Maybe, I don't know. We go back to that. Now we've got pistols, but yeah, this is kind of... I don't know how to really... I don't really make of this, because on the one hand, I am excited that Big are playing better, and I think if they get into the Legend stage, then they're going to need to play so much better than they did throughout the Challenger stage.
Yeah.
It's going to be way harder, so you want to see that, and obviously the whole purpose of these best of threes is to determine which is the better team to make it there. Bit of a scary moment for Smooya, but he's going to be fine.
Tizian is 13-3 at the moment. Starting this game off really well in this opening half. Cautiously checking down ladder room, and they see nothing. Here come the smokes. This time with the CZs, you know, they've got 3 of them. They can try and be a little bit more aggressive. They can try and kind of circle in, but 4 players out here, and Tizian will have a fast flank boost up on top of the train. There's the first op shot. These ops just doing so much damage. Smooya tracking him through the smoke. Double kill for the CZs, but tough chance to win this in a 2-on-3.
Yeah, that's a great flick. Again, the bomb plant is going to be a big problem. In a 2-on-3 like this, as soon as you're planting the bomb, you're essentially playing a 1 versus 3. Someone's occupied doing that, so not easy. Conflict going down. Tizian somehow finding the headshot. Not clear how, and now Gabe is going to get shot down one way or the other. Got B with the double kill. 8-3. A at least the bomb plant will give them an enormous amount of money to work with, given the round loss bonus as well. So that's good news.
Yeah, so now we're going to see the ops come out. I imagine at least Yugi's going to have one. Who knows if they want to switch to a double op setup. Try and find something that's going to alleviate some pressure.
Yeah, it's getting exciting now. You can feel it coming. Another 6 rounds, or no, sorry, another 8 rounds for Big, and they're going to be
there.
Yeah, they're halfway there. Legends stage.
Whoa. Yugi with the op has got to produce something for OpTic. They haven't had the answers just yet.
You Bon Jovi fan, Moses?
No.
No.
I mean, that song's alright.
Okay.
At closing time of bars. Next. In ladder room, Gabi doubled up at the start, making sure there's no shenanigans early on in the round, and he's pushed this team A 3 or 4 times in this game, and he's never really had to worry. He's never really gotten in a fight. OpTic being very passive to start the rounds. Again, it feels like Cajun, if you look at the minimap, Cajun and Yugi are all the way back with their smokes lined up already. So again, this is just another round where it's just blind hit the outer bomb site. Let's see what happens.
That is a really, really good counter Molotov for the push that's coming out of main. They kind of have to wait for it. I mean, the call comes in from PopDog saying, well, we can't really do anything. And as they're waiting around, Smooya will find a kill. Next did take a bit of damage, but still, where's the entry?
Snappy just went back up the ladder and bailed out. Good kill from Config, but Tizian's going to push. They have the information. Gade wins that, and all of a sudden the kills go the way of OpTic. Big may have miscalculated this, but Tapson's still alive, and he's been stunning in this series. Config behind, and he's got 2 different locations. Doesn't pick either one. The indecision has killed him, but Gabi with the flank. He can triple them all up, and he does. Steals it away again from OpTic right at the end. The best chance they'd had, and now it's 6 in a row for Big.
Oh, they're going to be angry, aren't they? I mean, they did that right, but this flank from Gabi in the end, even if they were they didn't really know, right? This is the power of a 1 versus 3 where they have no information about where you are. So well handled anyway. There was definitely a time when you wouldn't have trusted Gabi to do that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Not anymore. 12-5 on his scoreline. That, again,
I think that's the
crushing.
round. Yeah, I think that's the tilt round.
Yeah.
That one might be it.
That's it.
We'll see. 6 in a row. I've gotten the bomb down. I think at least one of those has been like getting the bomb planted with no real chance of winning, but at least they've got some of these plants to help with the full losing bonus so they can keep having some cash, but it's getting dire. Cajun, his turn at the bottom of the scoreboard, 2 kills. 4 on Snappy. And then on the other side, Big, I mean, maybe this is a kind of an indication just looking at the scores. 14, 12, 11, and 11 on their top 4 players. So, I mean, they just have a very deep contribution to this match.
Yeah, and we're seeing just a very dysfunctional OpTic gaming team right here.
At the moment, Big is just reading them left and right, and it almost feels like silly to say, but if OpTic needs to do something crazy, maybe you flip the pages of the playbook to that Tai Lu section and see where we go. Again, another good read, though. I mean, they went and cleared out Ivy pretty much all the way. Pretty deep. Cajun is going to start lurking it, but these positions outside, it's not for a strong hold at this A bomb site. It's certainly for a fast rotation. Nex is ready to go. He's on his heels. Cajun keeping Gabi and Smooya now way more dedicated, but they peek it together. Here comes the hit.
Not a bad shoulder peek from Gade. Now the grenades rain in. This is the kind of B execute they made it work earlier. Maybe they can do it again. Tizian just hiding on top of the train, and that actually gives him a kill. It's still a 3-on-3. Snappy flanking around. Great double for him, taking down Tizian. So 2-on-3 with the bomb down. This should be OpTic's round. Oh my god. Executing Snappy. Tapson just crouching in, no scoping him. That is disgusting. And now they have a couple of more smokes, even throwing that one. The flashbang, they can still smoke off both entrances here. Yugi waiting for it, hearing it. Now trying to come on through it. Bomb is being defused. Oh, the grenade actually gets him, and the full-on spray. And Cajun finally going to make it work here. Picking up a couple at the end and finding another round for OpTic. It's too soon to celebrate, but they get that 4th round on the board.
Exactly. Now they need to build. They need more than 4. And yeah, that HE grenade, the Holy Hand grenade, is able to get them their 4th round just with the damage done coming through the smoke. Tough situation to be in, but they've clawed for another one and another timeout. And I'm not against this. This is 3 timeouts used in this first half, as OpTic have yet to use them all just to figure out how to win. They had it in the beginning. They had it, if you look at that scoreboard that you have up there on the pause screen, they won 3 of 4, but just could not fully break the economy of Big. And that was where it felt like they really could have gone on a run. And once the money gets settled and established for Big, we've seen how good they are with their utility. That's when they can really, the double ops, behind the Molotovs, behind the HE grenades, the flashbangs to be able to clear out positions. It's been so tough for OpTic to overcome all of that. And this is their last chance. You win this, you break the money finally, if you kill all the players. And then you can look at possibly having 6 rounds.
Well, I think 9-6 would be incredible. That actually is a pretty fair scoreline if you're OpTic Gaming. I think especially considering the sort of meltdown that we've been seeing so far. Still a way to get out, still a way to get back into it. That double up, though, is powerful. Tabson, I mean, some of the kills that we've been seeing here are just absurd. Got to be sneaky close to Molotov. Could be forcing Snappy back. Never know if it's going to force someone the other way, and you could be ready for it.
Here's some pressure towards Ivy. 3 players, Yugi, Config, and Cajun. Smooya looking for the jump and just glanced away. He knows it's there. All quiet in here. Now the smoke comes out for timing with that flashbang. It's not the normal way to take Ivy with the Molotov and smoke combo, but it's going to allow him to get close and pop flash through it. And no one is here to help Smooya.
No, he definitely just going to need a backup. Oh, that's a free kill on Cajun. He was probably thinking he was on low ground. Snappy getting 1 kill from the other side. Very scary behind that train. Actually, Gade will pick up Gob B. Trading back and forth in favor of OpTic now. 2-on-3, and Smooya is just very uncomfortable inside the smoke with the AWP, and he's going to go down to Snappy. It's a good double kill for him. TZ in here should not be allowed to get back into this round whatsoever. The bomb is being planted in front, and Tizian, he wants to sneak up a little bit close. He misses the spray, and Yugi will take him down. 5th round for OpTic, and
they've done it.
This is, yeah, quite well job.
They've broken the entire economy. Apply a little bit of pressure towards Ivy. Finally, they're able to get out of that choke point and actually attack the bomb site. Even with a kill from Smooya on Cage and the first player out, they were able to gain so much from that. And now, obviously, when the mid pinch comes in and the presence is known from middle and ladder, Smooya just has to make a decision. And it's not always an easy one to make when your teammates are going down. So finally, they have a round again where Big is just on the pistols. And if they get out with 6, Anders, that's going to be incredible.
Yeah, I mean, they've lined it all up. They've set themselves up for some sort of dignified exit of the first half here. 1 deep grenade and a little bit of a shoulder peek, but Cajun is there to follow it up, and this time they don't get bombarded in quite the same fashion as they were earlier. Sees the shadow again on the ground. 1 good return, and an AK picked up and stolen. Scary sticking around there, and yeah, he's going to fall back.
Never know what that 1 kill can do, though, when you have the pistols. It's worth throwing 2 lives at it to maybe throw a little bit of a hectic nature into the OpTic game plan in this round. 1 minute remaining on the clock. Next in ladder room, Tizian with that deagle inside. He got a triple kill the last time Big had to play one of these rounds to turn it in their favor. 3 players from OpTic waiting right by the, I guess that'd be a recycling bin. Looks like a lot of cardboard. There we go, smoke's over. Gade is going to have a big job to do coming down ladder. He's also watching the flank for the moment. Next turns, a chance for Gade to actually get out. Next sees 1 pass. Gabi needs to handle that, and he can't. That's Config, and they all go down, and Tizzy had no real chance at winning this. He's already watching the flank. He's going to drop down, and there it is. 6 rounds for OpTic, which is brilliant considering how lost they look in that 6-round stretch.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm almost a little bit shocked that they managed to get back to this level. Getting the last couple of rounds in, they looked so defeated. I think that was the thing that really caught me.
Which is cool. I mean, to see them look that defeated, and you know, they've had all those interviews talking about how much of a slump they're in, and obviously it's not the greatest environment at the moment when they're spending a lot of time not playing as well as they want to be, but for them to fight through that, get 3 rounds right at the end. They've got a chance now. They've got that window of opportunity, which is kind of all you could ask for going into that. Down 9-3.
Yeah. See if they can continue on. I think we've seen some signs of life, a little bit of hope maybe, but they need to win the pistol round, maybe even win the 4th round, like really get their own streak, like where they can actually dominate big a little bit, and then we can start to...
Need their own double ops to start coming alive.
Yeah, something like that.
Here we go, pistol round, all important pistol round for OpTic. 3 rounds separates them and Big. If OpTic can't win this map, they go home early from this major, and this could be exactly what Snappy wants.
He's got an AT grenade. He can't really use it for anything here, but the CSAT 75 is the first person going to jump. That is the only question that he has to worry about here. If they do, I don't think this is going to work out, but if they just walk down, oh, they're going to back up a little bit. Snappy, how patient is he going to be? Remember, for any new viewers, he can't see those outlines that we can. So, yeah, this is all that Snappy knows is going on, and that makes it just, you can tell, slight bit more difficult. Tizian and Tabson on that other side, crouching on in. Oh, he's pre-firing it, and that's a problem. Now he's going to fall back. The grenade, they run right into it. It actually does a fair bit of damage. Okay. I mean, his heart must be pounding just a little bit.
Yeah, that turned out much better than it looked like it was going to. Gade and Config rotating into that inner bomb site and now falling back out, but I think Big is going to be very happy with accomplishing that task without losing any players. Just force him back. Much easier time outside. Ranged eyes on ladder room. 1 smoke for the Big side.
Yuki spotting out 1. It's not a lot of information, but it is something, and we'll see what happens when the couple of grenades start ringing in. That plus the guy in Pop Dog might just be enough for cause a full rotation. Snappy's going to be flanking in through Pop Dog, and they're going to try and see if they can boost on over. 17 seconds. This is pure madness. Cajun hitting headshots left and right, taking down Tabson and Tizian, and 1 chance, and that bomb is not going to be going down. Cajun, he wants this round. Gade and Snappy will close it out. Great triple for Cajun. That's very well done. And I must say, from Big's point of view, pushing with 16 seconds left, not a big fan.
Yeah, no, I'm not either, and I don't think they would be to add a third voice into that, but I think part of it might have been that pressure from Snappy inside. I think they just kind of got a little bit unnerved.
Oh God! Look
yeah,
at the kills that he's getting.
That's pretty nasty. You like a little bit of luck coming your way.
Just a little bit, but that was
a lot of it. I think more than anything, because if you look at the utility, 1 smoke and 1 Molotov, like I'm not entirely sure where in the outside you're going to throw that's going to be effective every single time. Obviously, Cajun getting 3 kills through said smoke kind of neutralizes that. But it does feel like more of like a utility that you're going to hit inside with, and maybe just got scared away from the potential rotation when they forced Snappy back.
So OpTic winning the pistol. And the fight continues. They probably feel like it's a little bit close. I don't think they can quite taste it yet, but they certainly don't want to play a 3rd map, Moses.
No, why would you want to do that? Better to play 4 overtimes.
Yeah, but no Inferno in this series, so you might be missing out on some of that.
Might be. Well, here they are at the end of halls. Tizian's Deagle is on fire today. He's going to hold for anyone to come gather information. No utility, so it's just got to be brute force for Big.
Yugi, exposed position, Snappy around the corner, and he's going to defuse that threat. Tizian is down, and Yugi and Snappy and the rest will just follow it up. There's a whole gang assembled out here at the A yard. They're going to be just fine. So another round, 9-8, and still no money for Big to buy. This is the first time I felt really any positive thoughts about OpTic in this series, Moses.
Yeah, it has been a while.
Just a couple, you know.
Yeah, you almost feel bad because it just does feel a little. It did feel a little bit depleted there for a while. You're just curious of, you know, what you can lean on if you're OpTic Gaming. This is now 5 rounds in a row for them if you go back to that first half, so gonna start feeling a little bit better on the SMG. Config making bank. If they drop down into his waiting arms, he's gonna love that. There's the flashbang. It misses though. A straight up headshot right in the chin, and he's gonna get another one, an easy ace possibly, and there it is. All 5 kills for Config. That'll get him going. That's the last person you want to feed an ace to.
He's so aggressive, isn't he?
$10,000 in the bank.
I feel like if I had to teach somebody how to play Counter-Strike, I just wouldn't show them a a demo of Config playing the game. Just saying.
It is ironic that you don't show the demos of the best players.
Yeah, I wouldn't show them simple either.
Yeah,
Like
no simple, no config.
Yeah, don't do all of these things. 9-9. I guess it is kind of the nature of playing at the elite level, isn't it? I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know much about basketball, but I'm guessing it'd be hard to learn it watching LeBron or something. You need a particular skill set to bend the game to that level.
Yeah, you also need to be like 6'10", 250 pounds.
Yeah, there's all that too.
It's probably wildly inaccurate. I'm going to get tweets about that one, but
Duncan is ready.
yeah, you know he's got the encyclopedia in his head. He's ready to go. 9-9, first gun round. This is the first obstacle for OpTic Gaming on the CT side. Playing for a spot in the Legend stage of the Major, which will be starting this coming Wednesday. If you've tuned in all week, you've known the excitement. 20-plus rounds of overtime in this first week alone.
Yeah, it's out of control. We've got this game tied up with Big winning the first map, as you can maybe tell in the graphic top mid there, and OpTic are just slowly starting to come alive. There's something working, something's moving on the other side. OpTic not connecting. That is a great peek. TZN taking down Yugi. Smoking off on one side. Are they gonna? Yeah, they're gonna follow it up. A lot of they don't really have to do this. It's so early in the round, but I kind of like the idea. And now Nex is taking down Config, and you could tell the map is shrinking right now for OpTic. They need to fight back. Tizian hitting more headshots, and now all alone, Gade long range with a UMP, and even has to expose himself with that smoke. They know what's up. You don't come out of these alive, Moses.
No, you never do. He's not even moving at the moment. And they're fine with that. They've got him pinned down. Yeah, poor UMP is not going to do anything at that range. That is a comprehensive take. First from the swing out towards Ivy. Tizian with an instant headshot onto Yugi. That's pretty brutal. Sometimes, as weird as it is, like sometimes it is just so hard to handle that kind of a beat because you're always expecting some kind of a flash, aren't you?
Yeah.
As an opper there. And it's risky. That's one of those things where, you know, if Tizian dies there, it's like, why didn't they flash?
I mean, I would almost say that when you are holding that angle with the AWP, or really any angle that you're holding, you do tend to build a kind of a picture in your mind about what kind of threat you're going to be facing.
Yeah.
And if there's a certain mismatch between that and what's actually happening, you just sometimes it doesn't work.
Well, gotta be in full focus as Big calls a timeout. They've got one left as well. Both teams using a lot of timeouts in that first half.
And they look happy, Big. They're smiling, they're laughing. They seem to be actually enjoying the game. Whereas I don't think we could say quite the same about OpTic Gaming.
It's all right. You don't need to enjoy it while it's happening, as long as you enjoy it after the victory. And this has been hard for OpTic to even find a foothold in this match, but somehow they did it. And, I mean, you have to be at least, if not happy, proud of that. Lean on that. In the previous round where they get wiped out, again, they had, I think, 2 or 3 UMPs, so now they have the AWP on Yugi again, they have the M4s, they have all the utility possible, but that's one thing OpTic was never able to do in their own offensive half, was get that opening kill just clean with an AK-47, find something early on in the round, because then you force that defense outside to shift. There's so many choke points at so many different angles in the outer bomb site. One kill is just a snowball effect, and then you can really exploit things. And OpTic was never able to have that. Maybe not until the very, very end.
Ooh. Dangerous flashbang. Caught somebody off guard. Next going back for a bit of a fight there, and he wins it against Config and gets back around the corner. Another good opening, and now Smooya don't get it down to Snappy. That could have been maybe a kill. Looked like he had the right idea, at least at that corner. Tizian setting up for a pop flash and instantly going to catch it. Goppy to take down Cajun. This round, they cannot afford to give away OpTic. That would probably catapult Big into a very favorable position. Yugi's down, Gade the only one left, and he's going to drop Goppy with another double kill. 11-9, but that is not the big problem. As always, Moses, it's the money.
It looks so simple when Big does it. Just a pop flash over to allow Nex to get out. It's just a pop flash to neutralize any opera that might be in Z. Just allow him to get behind that train and take some fights, take some duels. The trust in Nex to be able to find you an opening, and there's nothing fancy about it. It's just get one piece of utility to get him in a position. Sometimes he's going to lose that battle, but that's just the way it goes.
And because he's there fighting, it means that that 1v1 between Snappy and Tizian, there's no one there to help out Snappy at all, right? They can't really, maybe they can worry about it, but they can't necessarily go there. Config walking right in, and Smooya is ready.
Now they don't have to do anything big. They don't have to look for any picks. They can allow OpTic with 1.5 minutes to make a mistake. Spotted Yugi close by, who transfers over to the P250. On top of the train, there's the P. Almost landed that flick. He is fast. Absent and Gob B. Yugi's going to be in ladder room now. See how they handle this. There's Gob with the jump down, completely blind. The MAC-10 works perfectly. Gade going to be forced back, and Smooya picking him out at range. It's going to just be a slaughter.
Yeah, well done. They really seem to be in control. This doesn't feel like the big team that we saw yesterday or the day before, does it?
No, not even a little bit.
How hard would you say that is to do from day to day at a tournament? Like when because obviously you feel the weight of every successive day that you're not doing well, right? You go back to the hotel room, you have some sort of team meeting, and then day number 4 or 5, you start to like say, okay.
I think it'd be fine for the majority of the core of this big team. They've been a unit for so long, and obviously this is one of those teams that's really well drilled. I think it's much more difficult if you're not having good practice, if you're not feeling comfortable with how you guys like to play. For a team like Big that just had that success at Cologne as well, it's much easier for Gabi to calm the team down. Tell them not to worry. Oh, Smooya is so close. He's going to back away. They're already going into the center bomb site. Dave needs that win, and he does. Stands his ground, 2 quick kills. Big this time, changing the pace, trying to catch him off guard with a contact play. Completely blind. Gade's going to do more. 3 frags for him, and Cajun's now here for the backup. And Smooya, that pressure he applied towards Ivy did not do enough.
No, it's a good attempt, but even better return for OpTic. I feel like Gade has been, like, some of the kills that he's getting, they're not really super exciting, but he's putting together like a lot of double kills in some of these situations, and he just seems to be like, I feel like they can trust him to hold positions, which is, it's kind of an underrated ability to have, right?
He came to this OpTic team at the beginning of the first Pro League season this year. Got to watch him online there, and then he's caught some flack and some criticism recently for not performing all that well. I know from watching him in that season, pretty promising player. I've kind of like really enjoyed some of his decision making, and no, he's not going to be the flashiest. No, it's not, you know, the amazing laser beam pinpoint accuracy, but he can be a very effective player. Probably needs a little bit more time to really reach the full potential, but so far I don't think it's all that bad.
Smooya hoping that Snappy was going to back up somehow, expose maybe a leg, maybe more. Scoreline is 12-10 favoring Big right now. OpTic Gaming clawing to stay alive in this, and most of all, more than anything, not to get reset again. If that happens one more time, I don't know if they can keep recovering from it. They're holding incredibly defensive on B. Gade is so far back, which is risky.
Do they think maybe it's like a save or something? Maybe they think that there's no money on the Big side. I can't imagine so. No, there's no way. That's their first round win they've had in 3. So yeah, just being sure they don't get caught off guard. They want Config and Cajun B to be in front of the smokes if there's an execute outside, and yeah, that does weaken things in here. Is this going to be a fake of some kind? Maybe even a double fake.
Initial smokes, Molotovs, one of them failing a bit, but still might sell some of it. At least one more, and one more is rotated now through the C connector, so only 2 people on the bomb site. Cajun is 1, but he's going to get the double, including the bomb. So excellent defense being put down here. A triple now for Cajun B, and almost got the reload in, but Smooya was ready to take him down. It should still be no problem, especially when you look at the clock. 15 seconds. If they just wait, there is absolutely no way someone can put the bomb down. Config will take down Smooya, and it's all on Next to try and do a bit more damage, or at least die. One of the 2 here. Now clock has run out, so he's going to stay alive. Oh, right around the corner, and that's a bit annoying. Yeah. 1900 to him.
That's really tough. Fake doesn't work at all. No one dedicated to that inner bomb site. They threw all the utility. They even got some of the rotations. But a great sequence from Cajun B. Immediate headshot on Tizzy, and Gabi falls next, using that smoke perfectly. No one from the mid. You could see him expecting it. No one from middle. That was Nex, who just kind of ran all the way down that lane. No one really helped pay attention in trying to eliminate that version of defense to make that split outside work. OpTic about to even up the scoreline. They've had a couple times where it felt like they might just shatter and break. They've stayed alive. That's very impressive. Smooya waiting for the pressure from Ivy. Smoke is going to go down. Yeah, there goes the op. He's actually running out. They need to get this kill. They need to get this frag. Tizian finally gets it. There goes the op, and Smooya's got it. He can create some magic.
It's time for it now. He misses the one big chance that he had. Tizian, as you said, good with the deagle, but Config on that AK-47 will drop him for the triple. 12-12, all tied up, and you are absolutely right. I feel like they bent very, very far OpTic without really breaking in this game. Obviously, on Dust 2 is a different thing, but yeah, I'm kind of surprised that they've managed to mentally stay in this one.
It's very, very impressive. 5 AKs now for the big side. Trying to attack in this bomb site. OpTic building some momentum, building some money up as well. This is a very cool map that we're being treated to. Config with 19, Yugi with 18, Gade with 17. Gade and Cajun B this time, both buddied up at the inner bomb site very early. Looks like an outside hit.
Indeed. Config gets one, but the return is instantaneous. Tabson taking him down, and the follow-up taking down Yugi. This is so good. Tabson continuing. He's back in action, and could have maybe been Tabson, but Smooya stole it from the high ground there, so now Gade just has to back off and wait. These hits from Big are amazing.
It seems like there's these timings, like before the round gets to even like a minute and 10 seconds, where when Big hits it, it's OpTic is just like not entirely ready to take on the full force of it.
Yeah.
They've been able to shatter that defense a couple of times when they go for those aggressive plays. You know, one round is Nex just being pop flash, allowing him to duel. This round, obviously, just a contact explosion. Gade's going to try and survive. They could actually chase this down. I don't know if they're going to be too dedicated to it. It'd be great if they could get it. But OpTic is going to have to reinvest a lot of money into this next round, and they have a lot to play with. I don't think they're going to be deficient in any way, but that's going to be tough.
He's going to stay safe for now, so he could save the rifle. Not bad.
You're at that stage in the game where you just cannot afford to lose your entire economy.
No, it's all on the line. I mean, they're going to be buying into this round, so...
See, this is the tough part of this defense, is Config should not be the one taking that contact in T-mid. And they had an op peering in to try and get the pick, Yugi behind that train. But Config should not be taking the first fight. He needs to be focused on that ladder room. Because even if you lose mid and you have that player in ladder room, you can still recover from that situation. When he goes down, that's just one less defender and everyone's out of position.
Well, Big have got one more shot here at breaking maybe the economy of OpTic. They've had to spend a lot buying that AWP and all of the utilities, so close right now, Big. 3 rounds away from making that legend stage. OpTic have started to slowly ramp up their game. It's not been nearly as impressive, not been nearly as explosive, but it is getting there. Who knows what will happen if it goes to map number 3? I mean, maybe the upward trajectory is going to continue for OpTic Gaming. Certainly be worrying for Big if it does. Some of the players, I mean, Config has had a good game, right? 20 kills on him, yeah. 18 on Gade. It's just that there is a even further level of Config somewhere up there that they don't want to see that.
This is really cool. Smooya made a great presence in middle, dodging a lot of the out bullets that Yugi was putting out. Tizzy and now creating attention over towards Ivy. Keeping people outside, and Gade is playing very far back. Tizzy, and if he gets this kill, the round might just be over. He spots out Snappy, forces him away. It's going to cause a rotation. Now we know it's on. Gade going to try and stop him from wrapping. Takes a little bit of damage. He's forced right into Smooya's crosshair. Great setup on this hit. And Tizzy is still occupying outside. He's got one. Yugi's got to handle him before he can rotate.
But even the fact that he gets that kill, I mean, they have to stay and fight him for such a long time. Yeah, what else could they do, right? Tizian really has been playing maybe one of the best games I've seen out of him for a long while here.
It's not something where you look at the series stats, and that's the trouble. If you look at the series stats at the end of this, you're not going to look at Tizian and say, wow, what a great game. But if you go back to Dust 2 early on in that T side, some of the rounds he played in here on Train, in some ways he's been one of the most impactful players we've had on this big side in the server.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, there are some subtle clues to look for if you rewatch all of the games. It definitely has had a big impact.
Oh,
14. Try and see if they can get the last away. That's the AWP gone. That is so frustrating. I mean, they're out of money nearly. They could buy one more M4 there on the OpTic side, but 14 to 12, big. They just continue.
What a grind against this team. OpTic, I give them props for everything that they've been able to stay into this game and even at times give themselves advantages, but just not able to complete it. Not yet, at least.
And that's an aggressive peek. Config with the AK-47 down to 17 health. Snappy running into the fire. This might be a little bit desperate. Tizian will take him down. OpTic Gaming throwing what they have left at the wall, trying to figure out what sticks, and it doesn't really look good.
Now they're in a tough spot. Config obviously getting legged, wanted to get that stance in ladder room again, and he's forced away from it. I think Next might come out and duel once again. All of Big at the moment being patient, waiting for the response, and I think Smooya obviously just spotted Config peeking in. Yugi on top of the train now. They need something from somebody. Nothing being offered by Big. Next is going to have to go back and get the bomb, so this is going to be a pinch mostly from ladder room and Ivy. This is the benefit of having some early presence and finding these early kills, is you can readjust with a minute on the clock and find a new angle of attack.
Molotov to one side, smoke to the other. Trying to see if they can make their way out Ivy if they can. This A defense is going to be so compromised with that AWP looking all the way down that angle. And now they're going to try and see if they can boost up. Tizian standing and Smooya jumping all the way up in the box. Look at how much he can see of this bomb site. OpTic Gaming, it's a good thing that they've fallen so far back, otherwise they could get taken out. There is a bit of a flank coming in as well. This might all be it. 20 seconds, missed opportunity there for Smooya. They need to get closer and get that bomb down now. It's making its way up the back wall. And Next can find the opening. A lot of damage being put out here as Config does take down one on Tapson. They need more, and double kill for Config. A third one in, and it's all done. They somehow turn that round in their favor. OpTic Gaming still alive and still fighting. Here's the 13th round for them.
Big did everything. Everything was so cool, and Big did everything right except for the fact that they never actually pressed go. They never actually attacked the bomb site. They were slowly closing in and instructing upon it, and weren't ever able to deal the death blow needed. And eventually Config, that flank, I mean, I feel like Config just got bored. He was like, all right, I'll just go figure it out. 12 HP to make that flank to go up the ladder in that fashion.
Yeah. Really, really well done, and obviously a critical one, because you could tell as that was going on before Config got into play, that bomb site was just being crushed from every side, right? They had nowhere to stand. They were getting AWP'd on one side, rifled on the other. So a good job.
Yeah, Config now 23 and 18. Tense moment for them as they try and avoid elimination. They've got a chance here. The force buy in this round from Big. Galil, AKs, 1 AWP, and a Deagle. Not a lot of utility, though. That's the scary part. And at 14-13, Big is running out of cash. They're just going to go for a fast outside play. This has worked so often.
Might work again. Good return from Config and Yugi at least. Yuki looking for more. He's going to be careful. Smooya is on the other side with his own AWP. He's going to go down. Config doing a lot before he's out of the round. 2 on 3. Still looking very doable. And Snappy, yeah, fall back. Play that man advantage. Think about the fact that they have to get that bomb down eventually. There is still a minute and 20 seconds, so I mean, if Big fall back, OpTic have some choices to make.
Well, Tapson is going to try and pressure towards Ivy. They've spotted Gade. They know he's around here. They know this is a very safe space for him, but he as well has that internal clock, knowing eventually, or knowing at least that it's going to be a possibility. Next is doing his best to keep the attention. Gade's going to turn the corner. Easy kill for Tapson. No head armor with that. Galil going to be able to swap out to the AK. Plenty of time as well to fall all the way back and just disappear. And how do you read this if you're OpTic?
Is that smoke thrown as well, right, from Next? That sort of Gade probably feels like he has to do something when that goes up at Ivy. He's like, well, okay. Maybe I should make a little bit of a move. And now Tabson's fallen back again to Ivy, so this is very hard to read. OpTic, somebody has to go look, right? Eventually it'd be, and Snappy is doing it. Yugi holding the angle, and he might get a very big reward here. At least spots it out, buying a little bit of time for his teammate to get back here. 20 seconds now. Can they make it work? Snappy's still down there, so Molotov in. The bomb is going down, and this is trouble now for OpTic Gaming. The whole series, and indeed their tournament run, could be on this. Nex and Tabson left, and right now they've got a very good hold on the bomb side. Tabson with an excellent position. The spray is in, he's going to get the kill. And Snappy now, 1 versus 1. Nex on the other side with the AWP. The bomb is planted just for him. That smoke, though, from Snappy could be very bad news when you have the AWP. He's going to jump into it, sit inside, 4-second defuse, and Nex is waiting. He misses one shot. He's got one more chance, and he's not going to get it. OpTic diffusing their way out of that 1 versus 1. And Nex is going to be furious. If he had the AK instead, that would be the round immediately in his favor.
He had one at his feet. I think he just didn't want to give away his position. So close for Big on the force buy. I think they have to sit this round out, and it's a tough decision to make because you know the money is low from the OpTic side of things. I loved that round from Big. I loved the slow play. I loved the way they moved across the map. You spend just enough time being quiet and silent. It forces Snappy to go back towards the inner bomb site just to check, just in case. You find ways to get a few more picks. Nades towards the main choke point. Tabson is already out. Yugi's unaware. Yugi can get caught. So could Snappy. Oh, there's a dink immediately. He could get the follow-up. There goes. Tabson does so much work. He opens up this bomb site.
Oh my god. Out of all the ways, again, you could lose it. This is not how you'd want to do it. 3 on 4. They recovered some of the rifles and some of the grenades down here on the big side. This is looking incredible for them. Cajun wants to get the wrap around. Gonna put out a Molotov to force him back, and that means they don't really know this fallback has happened. It's gonna be a good 10 seconds before they can go and check it, and when they do, are they gonna be quick on the rotation? Big are regrouping on this side. They really don't have a lot. One smoke and a flashbang here to set up something, but Goppy is gonna be smoking off, maybe towards Pop Dog, and then we'll see what happens. Yeah, just making that one work.
You have to keep 2 players outside if you're OpTic as well. There's just too many choke points, and oh, Config just wanted the intel. He found far more. Cajun,
the only one defending. He needs at least a double, and preferably more than that. He's going to take down Goppy, but are they going to be able to swarm around him? 30 seconds. If they are too much focused on this, Gade might be in play in time, but he's not. Next will take him down. And now the bomb being planted. 1 versus 3. Big. I mean, this is cruel and unusual punishment. Taking down OpTic in a round where they just rush outside. Tabson, I mean, he was there so quick and he made it work. 15-14. They are on series point right now, and OpTic must feel devastated.
You cannot lose track of that lane. Just one mistake for OpTic, and I mean, again, fought so hard to put himself in a position of advantage. And every time they've had it, they haven't been able to capitalize it. They've almost dropped the ball more often than not. I believe Big won a round like that in the first half as well. Tizian with that deagle, the 3 kill from the CT side. So, I mean, OpTic a couple times are going to be kicking themselves. This is one of those maps where you get done with it and you just say, how do we lose that? How do we let them back into it?
Now the focus is back. Tactical timeout for Big. 1 single round away from making their way into the Legend stage.
It's wild seeing this match play out and thinking that Big are the ones being like, way more aggressive, right? This OpTic team, if you look at some of these guys, you would imagine that they were the ones that were coming out mid-fast trying to take fights, and they almost seemed hesitant and a little bit too tentative to do it. Big, on the other hand, have had success 4 or 5 times in that fashion.
Yeah, I mean, they look much more assertive, and you can tell in some of those 2v2s, 3v3s, they're thinking about the game so much, and that's a big opening here for the British player taking down Config. He wants a chance to make it to the next level. I think he made some promises as well. 4 on 5 now as Config has gone down. It is looking very dark here for the Danish side. Could be their last round of Counter-Strike here at this major. Hiding on the stairs as well, Tabson. That's interesting. Just crouching in there.
Have to play 4 on 5 with Deagles and a 5-7 and 3 flashbangs. You've got to feel like crap. Someone's going to have to hit some stunning shots. Smoothie's got an angle into the whole bomb site. He's got a great flick over to Yugi. I think that may be the straw that just breaks this test. There goes Snappy, and it's going to be all over Big. They're going to win this 16-14, a grind-out game. Able to do a lot of damage, and that's going to be it. Big is going to make the Legend stage.
Yes, they are, and they certainly fought hard for it. I mean, OpTic Gaming, they put up a brave fight here on Train, but obviously a lot of pieces missing in this one. 16-14, Big, now at the Legends stage. A triple kill for Smoothie at the end, but I think Tabson really is the standout player throughout these two maps. Tizian, a lot of high-impact kills for him as well. They're so happy right now, and they deserve to be. That was, yeah, a lot of calling and a lot of great stuff going into this game for the Big organization, so you've got to give them credit for that. Well done.
A great progression of this another organization, much like Tyloo, where they've been working and building towards this for some time, and seeing that hard work pay off, and seeing it not only pay off, but you can obviously tell inside of the server, which is really, really cool to watch. As to OpTic, they know that they've been in kind of a little bit of a slump. I was still very impressed with the way they fought on Train. It's unfortunate that they got themselves so close a number of times to really having a stranglehold on that second map and never able to do it. Just lost too many of those force buy rounds to Big, and that's got to be heartbreaking.
Yeah, I think it will be, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you obviously have to go back and look at that game, but
feels like they really, I don't like the word deserved, but it did feel like in a way that third map was going to happen.
Yeah, still, I mean, some of the calls that went out from Big were so assertive, right? Like when they went for something, they went all in on it, and they went
DDK.
Exactly, just like he did. That's what everyone should aspire to be like, I think. But yeah, Tabson just following through on the mission, not really diverting from it. It's great to see. So that's the kind of play we want to see the Legend stage, and hopefully they can keep it up. I think they still got more to show us, Big.
Yeah.
This wasn't even like the best version, but it was good.
Yeah, they probably have more good things to show us. We'll see next week, but before then, we've got Paula down with Big.
Are you happy, Gob? Good to see you, sir. Congratulations. Right at the end, when there was one OpTic player left, you let out a big cheer. What did you say? Let's get to the major?
Let's get to the Legend stage, I said. And that's what I did when we made the first major with the old team. I said, like, welcome to the major, and that's now a routine for us now.
And that's something I wanted to talk about. You're a legend in your own right. You've played on many different rosters. You've been at majors before. But to get to this one here in London and with these guys that you've put together, what's it like?
To be honest, we were expecting to go there, but after this week we had a lot of problems. The best of one system is really hard to play. A lot of good teams, they can surprise you. So yeah, when we came here, we're like, okay, the teams surprised us, and it was tougher than we thought. And we also didn't play as well. That's why I'm much more happy for our team, because we didn't play our best and still made it to the Legend stage. And now we're relieved. Now everyone starts again from 0-0. And yeah, hopefully next week will be better.
And thanks to you and your team, we now have a second British player going to the next stage to join Def. We have Smoothie on Big. Can you tell me about how it's been adding him to the team and playing with him?
Yeah, it's been a roller coaster because...
Next, please don't go anywhere, by the way, because I'm going to speak to you after.
Because he is a really talented player. He's a really crazy guy. I like him a lot, personally. And in-game, we all needed to learn more, because it was a new situation for us. I play new roles, everyone is playing a little bit new roles, English, and that's why it was a little bit tough. But I think we try to make try to get better every time. Every time we try to speak more English, have better comms, and yeah, we kind of know how we need to react in a best of 3, in a best of 1. We haven't played it yet so far in this kind of system. That's why we a little bit struggled, I think. Yeah, but adding him was like one of the best things we did this year, for sure.
My friend, congratulations. Now, Owen, I'd love to chat to you. I don't think we've ever done this before, so I'm very excited to speak to you. What's it been like for you to join Big and work under God B?
As he said, it was a roller coaster at the beginning. We clashed heads a lot. I was like a little arrogant kid saying like, no, I know what I'm doing, you don't know what you're doing, and I didn't know what I was doing at all. I've learned like an insane amount of how to play like high level CS, and it's like working out really well. Like the bootcamp we had before this event helped like insane amounts, and now like we're all on the same wavelength, which is like what we needed from the beginning. And there's like no egos. Like now I see them as friends, whereas at the beginning I'd be walking around the house, I'd be like, oh my god, it's God B, it's Tabson, because I was like still like a huge fan, But now like they're all like my friends, so. Yeah, I'm just super excited for the next stage.
Yeah, so now you can be a fan and a friend, perhaps. Owen, how many adjustments have you had to make to yourself as a person and as a player to fit into this roster and also have the impact that you have been having?
Like, I don't even know how many it would be on a scale, like 100, I guess, because, like I said, I've given up positions I thought I was the best at, and then it turns out Tapson's literally the best AWPer in the world, so I just say, you do that, I'll go do this job. So, like, loads on many maps, and I'm super happy because I feel like every game we play, we get stronger. The stuff that happened earlier in the qualifier, till I die, I'll say that was, like, should not have happened because we should never have lost a Vega or Complexity, but it happens in a best of one, and now I'm just super excited for the best of threes, for the next stage, sorry.
Yeah, before I speak to Next to finish everything off, Owen, what would you like to say to UK players out there representing the scene in such a strong way? Maybe you could pass on a little message.
Don't be super arrogant because even though you think you're good within your scene, you're not good at CS at all. Like, literally at all. Because the reason I have such a big ego is because I've just been stomping noobs my entire life. So just be super humble. Always, like, every time you play, don't think, oh, because I won this game, you didn't make a mistake. Every game you play, you normally make a mistake. So best advice I could give is watching demos as well and just work hard, and that's it.
Smuya, thank you very much. You're doing us proud. Next, could I have a quick word with you, please? Sir, you had a great tournament at Cologne. I wanted to touch upon that and anything. I'm not going to be able to get him over. All right, well, we'll finish things off with Kakafu, the coach. You're not going to get away from me, sir. Okay. Congratulations to you and your team. Final words with you. What's it like to be here and to get to the next stage and in the fashion that you've done? Because it's been some hard work.
I mean, we're very proud. We put in a lot of work before the tournament. It was a disappointing start for us all. Like we beat kind of like not so good teams in our opinions, but they showed up. I'm very proud of the team that we could keep it up. Like in the last 2 days, we put in a lot of more effort. We were in the prec room. We watched demos. GOP made insane game plans again, and the team heads down. They played very well.
There we go. Congratulations to you and your team. Anything else that you'd like to say to all the big fans at home?
I mean, thank you to all the fans, everybody who cheer for us, who are still have our backs, and we showed that we can always come up out of nowhere, and hope that the tournament continues for us.
There we go, everybody. This is the notorious BIG moving forward to the legend stage of the Major. Alex, over to you.
Another one locked in for the Legends. We'll be seeing Big more as they'll be continuing their adventure on Wednesday. That's when the Legend stage will be kicking off live from London once more. And the sad departure of OpTic Gaming. Yugi's on your screens there, of course, his first Major and his first Challenger stage. Couldn't quite convert it into a trip to the top 16, but still, OpTic Gaming, maybe not Dust 2, but Train, close but no cigar.
Close but no cigar. They had an admirable fight in this game, I would say. I think OpTic, again, once again showing that they have potential. They're a team with star players. You gotta say it one more time. You have Cajun, you have Confi, you have Yugi.
You sound like a broken record.
I know. It's just, I expect so much more from them. Also against a team like Big, who doesn't have the necessarily biggest stars in the Counter-Strike world. So OpTic, once again, a little bit disappointing, but I will say, though, we have the right winners. We have Big moving on, and I think, as Steph said in the pre-game segment as well, the wins they've had have looked very convincingly, and this one was in full control of them.
Yeah, Config at times was in full control. I love this round, just watching that play.
And another point I wanted to make was, I think a best of 3 really shows Big's strength, and it sort of highlights OpTic's weakness as well, because it really just, Dust 2 wasn't even close. And that's sort of a thing that OpTic, I think, needs to work on, because they have Cash, which they don't play at all, and then Dust 2, which they barely play as well.
Yeah, and we'll get into that conversation, but with the stats up as well, you can see your top performers, and the casters were giving a whole lot of credit to Tizian, who not only perhaps close to the top of the scoreboard, but influential in the fragging department. And this reads a little better, right? Jacob, you were getting upset. Gobby, one of the highest rated players from Big, you said it's a bad sign. Well, fortunately, when it came down to crunch time, when it came down to Train, everything seemed to settle where it belonged.
But he's still performing way better than normally. He's still doing a really, really good job. Obviously, you don't want to head to your in-game leader to be the top fragger, especially not when it's got B. He's known for other stuff. He's known for being the brain behind the team and not necessarily his fragging department.
And Tabson, right? Tabson's the guy you would be looking at, because...
Tabson, you like those 180 AR games from Tabson, and he's doing it pretty much all the time. He's a sick player, let's say like that. But the one thing I think is still missing from Big that makes me believe a little bit less in them in the future stages is Next. He's not having the best tournament. We saw him in Cologne being the by far most influential player for that team, but he hasn't been able to put up that performance here. And if they want to move on from the next stage, want to move from top 16 into top 8, Next needs to up his level just a little bit.
Next for the next stage, we'll find out if he can turn it around. Especially because if you asked me, you know, what does Next need to get into the game? I'd maybe say a game like Dust 2, because he did top frag and they did have a rather easy time, and that's where I'd like to take this conversation. Of course, the first map in this series, just because, you know, OpTic Gaming, as you've already insinuated, Daps, do seem to be really, they've kind of hamstrung themselves with their map pool coming into any best of 3.
Yeah, we talked about the punish pick. We weren't quite sure what Big would pick, if they were going to go for the punish pick or something a little bit more comfortable, but Dust 2 is a really good map for Big, and I just, the fundamentals from OpTic on Dust 2 seemed a little off.
How so?
It just, the rotations, and also, it's not just their fault. I feel Dust 2 is a very momentum-based map, and it's a map that's not very easy to come back on if your economy's bad. So I think that's why you see a lot of blowouts on Dust 2.
Yeah, I saw your tweet, but a 14-1 T-side, that's more than just the map at play there.
Yeah.
Yes, for sure.
Think about how many times we've seen that, though, as of lately. We saw it at DreamHackMasters.com twice. Mousesports beating North 16-1.
Yeah.
Then North all of a sudden picking Dust 2 against Australis picking Dust 2 into North and losing 16-1 as well. So we have seen Dust 2 being this super momentum-based game or super momentum-based map. And it comes down to the fact that it's still relatively new within the map pool. We haven't seen it much yet ever since its comeback. So there's still a lot of teams struggling with that one. So that's also another interesting prospect moving into the top 16. Have teams like Na'Vi, have teams like MIBR find a way to master Dust 2 and will play in as a factor. I think it will.
God damn, that's an exciting prospect, and of course that starts Wednesday. We're not done with our day here though for Challenger Stage, and first the head-to-head for this matchup, OpTic Gaming versus Big. We put Tamsin in the ring, and I mean this one has paid off in spades. This is brought to you by The Predator, which is in cinemas September 14th. Tamsin was almost the best in every category.
Yeah, and I actually wanted to touch on Yugi first. I think he did play better than he has been this whole tournament, but there were still a few shots on train, like crucial shots that he missed, and I just think that you really can't be missing free kills, like the one on Ivy where Tabson walked up Ivy late, and Tabson literally just wide peeked. He didn't even jiggle. He just ran across. Yugi missed the shot, and that's a round winner right there if he kills him.
This is Yugi playing at 50%. He can be so much better than we've seen in this game. So he's definitely not having the best tournament of his life or the best period within his career, but he's definitely way better than he's showing.
And it's likely, you know, external factors as well. You have to remember that this team of OpTic have made it clear that they are not in the best place. As in, they said coming into Stockholm, they expected it to be a lot easier than it was. It's very hard to swallow your pride in a week's time and then come into the Challenger stage and realize it's not all sunshine and rainbows, and it may not be that easy, but we have got your updated bracket for you because we've lost another team, and another team locked in for the Legends. Yes, Tai Lu first, bested, I was about to say Splice, where did that come from? Team Spirit, and of course, Big Clan picking up their win versus OpTic. Just 2-0s today. We did have our overtime and in a bonanza on Inferno from Tai Lu and Spirit. Really recommend checking that one out if you didn't catch it. And we've got one more to go, Vega North.
Yeah,
Want to set the scene, Jacob?
Wouldn't surprise me if we see another overtime of 5 in this game. I think it's going to be a super close one. I talked to Zeus, Team Liquid's coach, after them playing Vega, and I asked him, you know, do you think North is going to win, and how do you feel about that matchup? And he said that he thinks that Vega has a very good shot at beating North. The way Vega plays Counter-Strike is super fast-paced. It's super, to him, a little bit random sometimes, and you got to make the right gamble stacks, and that's something North have been showing to do well. But if MSL can't get a read on these rather unorthodox Russian guys, then it's going to be super tough for them.
Unorthodox, a perfect word to end it on. Vegas Squadron, the unorthodox team that came through the CIS minor, are now looking to do damage and get a spot in the Legends. Standing between them and that is none other than North, who recently lifted a trophy just 1 week ago. That's all coming up after our break, but a reminder for epics.gg, one of our sponsors. If you want to check out their website, it's nice and easy, epics.gg, and you can get yourself cards where you can trade, of course, and all of that good stuff with your favorite CSGO stars. Right, we're taking a break. When we do come back, we're going to see if North can weather the storm or the Sharks will rise once more.